My goodness, those Georgia Bulldogs took those Michigan Wolverines apart. I'm going to tell you why that may not have been the best thing for Georgia. And I'm also going to tell you why Alabama's matchup this go around with Georgia is probably going to be much, much different than the first time. And finally, how you are going to get paid to watch this one. Let's get it.
This is Enough Said Sports.
Hey guys, I hope all is well in your world. It is all well here at Enough Said Sports as we come to you with another preview and prediction video, this time for the national championship game. Welcome to Enough Said Sports, where we don't do fandom, we do business, and where we don't make friends, we make money. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day or your evening to join us here for this special video. Officially, Happy New Year to all of you out there. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful New Year. I know a couple of teams that did not have a Happy New Year today. That would be Cincinnati and Michigan. Definitely had a rough beginning to 2022 here. I want to first start out by congratulating the Georgia Bulldogs for making it to this point. They played well all season. They deserve it. The Alabama Crimson Tide on the other side, congratulations to them for making it to this point as well. Back in the championship game yet again. Also, congratulations quickly to Michigan. Congratulations to Cincinnati. Before we get into this video, guys, if you like this sort of content, please also join us on Patreon. Click the description box below. Become a true fan of Enough Said Sports and get all of our exclusive picks from the NBA, NFL, and college football. Now, let's talk about this matchup that's going to be coming on January the 10th, 2022, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. It's the Georgia Bulldogs going up against the Alabama Crimson Tide in the rematch of the SEC championship game. The Georgia Bulldogs are favored by 2.5 in this one, and the total is 52.5. Obviously, this is very early, so these lines may change a little bit as we go. And it'll be interesting to see the line movement in this particular contest leading up. So let's start out with these Georgia Bulldogs. First of all, unbelievable game tonight against the Michigan Wolverines, taking care of business. Definitely surprised me. I didn't expect them to be nearly as dominant. I thought they probably would win the game. I thought it would be a really close game. Boy, I was surprised. They came out and absolutely put it on Michigan. They deserve a ton of credit. Stetson Bennett deserves a ton of credit. Played extremely well tonight and definitely showed up in a big game. And I'm definitely happy for that young man, happy for the Georgia Bulldogs that they were able to not let their season end on a sour note the way that obviously Alabama left them last time out. And so it's good to see them rebound and get off the mat and get up for this rematch coming up. So this particular I said at the top of the video that it may have not been the best thing that the Georgia Bulldogs actually blew out the Michigan Wolverines. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. In life and anything in sports and anything that you do, anytime that you have some difficulty, you always look inward, okay? You always look at what happened. You look at it very closely. You look at things and you make adjustments, obviously. Now, granted that they got humbled by Alabama last time out. Surely they did some looking inward, but coming out tonight, having the tour de force that they had, my concern would be as a Georgia Bulldog fan, will you get a bit too much confidence from defeating a team such as Michigan that's really, looking at it now, is really tailor-made for this Georgia Bulldogs team, because the Michigan Wolverines run the football exclusively. And the Georgia Bulldogs are they're the second best in the country at stopping the run. Surprisingly enough, Wisconsin is actually rated a little bit better against the run, and that's actually pretty surprising. But I would still say Georgia has the edge because they had the tougher schedule over Wisconsin. They're definitely outstanding stopping the run, and that's what Michigan does. And Michigan just wasn't able to do anything. And what really surprised me is Georgia's offensive output in this game against Michigan. Stetson Bennett being absolutely on point, Stetson Bennett being sharp. Their running game looked really good. The passing game looked really good. They were absolutely flawless tonight. And, that's what really surprised me. I thought that they would really have more of a struggle against this Michigan Wolverines team. defensively, but they did not. I figured the Georgia defense would be somewhat dominant, but I just thought the Michigan Wolverines would be a lot better than that on defense. But got to give the credit to Georgia. They did a phenomenal job. Now, on the other side, the Alabama Crimson Tide. The reason why I say it's going to be a little bit different for this Alabama Crimson Tide in this rematch than it was in the beginning in the first matchup, because they did lose John Mechie III there to the injury. And I believe that is a huge, huge key to being able to attack this Georgia team. I had said it. I had highlighted it going into the Tennessee game, what Tennessee was able to do, spreading Georgia out and throwing the ball all over the yard. And I had said that Bryce Young would be able to exploit that with great regularity with that receiving core and things of that nature. They did just that. They don't have all their dogs. I think Jamison Williams is a little bit nicked a little bit. And the rest of the receiving core is pretty young. I do like what they have at tight end, but certainly losing John Mechie III is going to figure a little bit different for this Alabama Crimson Tide team than they did in the first matchup. Now, with all that being said, let's get down to it, and I'm going to tell you how the cow ate cabbage in this particular contest. I still like Alabama in this contest, okay? And the reason why I still like Alabama, yes, they're down John Mechie III, but I still believe that Bryce Young, with the weapons that they have left over, with Jamison Williams in the game, Slade Bolden is a little possession receiver, Billingsley there at the tight end position. I believe they're going to be able to do some things offensively, and they'll still be able to exploit this Georgia Bulldogs secondary. Now, with that being said, I do think this game is going to play out very differently, in that I believe this Georgia Bulldogs offense is going to show up more. I think this Georgia Bulldogs offense is going to be there. They're going to show up and show out. I think Stetson Bennett has gotten over the shakes, the tremors, or whatever you want to call them, on the big stage. I think he slayed some demons tonight out there on that field against the Michigan Wolverines. And I guarantee you that this Georgia Bulldogs team will come with their lunch pail. They're going to come ready to play, and it's going to be a significantly closer game than it was last time, because I do believe that the Georgia Bulldogs can take advantage of this Alabama defense. They missed out on some opportunities last time. I believe Stetson Bennett is going to hit those passes this time. So Bryce Young and the Alabama Crimson Tide better be on their best behavior, or the Georgia Bulldogs will come in here and win this championship away from them. With that being said, though, I believe in St. Nick. I believe in Bryce Young. I believe in this Alabama team. I've seen it too many times, and until somebody shows me otherwise, I'm going to roll with the Alabama Crimson Tide for my money. I'm putting my money on the Alabama Crimson Tide to cover this spread at 2.5. I'm also putting my money on the Alabama Crimson Tide to win outright, and I'm putting my money on the over. I like the over here. I think both offenses are going to flow. I can't emphasize that to you enough. Stetson Bennett had open targets in the last game. He just flat out missed them. And like I said, this young man came of age tonight. I believe he comes out. I believe he slays some demons, and I believe they're right in this contest. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be close. It's going to be hotly contested. I do not expect a blowout in this particular contest, but, man, I got to roll with them Crimson Tide. I can't run away from them. They're the squad. They got the matchup advantage here. And if they had Mechie III, I would feel a bit more comfortable with a larger margin of victory. But I'll take Alabama by about 5 points in this contest, 5 to 7 points. And I think it's going to be one heck of a game. Can't wait for it. And for our wallets and our sakes, I hope I'm right. We'll take Alabama plus 2.5. Alabama to win on the money line. And finally, I like it going over 52.5 total points. All right, guys, with that being said, Georgia Bulldogs fans, come at me. Let me know what you're thinking. How you feeling? How do you feel about this matchup? Do you think you guys have a legit shot in this second matchup, the reload against the Alabama Crimson Tide? Alabama fans, do you feel like it'll be a repeat of the first matchup, or do you feel like it'll be a much closer game? Do you feel like you got a disadvantage in this game, or do you still like the matchup, even though you don't have Mechie out there to exploit that Georgia secondary? And finally, guys, as always, please let me know what you think about the pick itself. It's been an amazing season. I really appreciate everything. I appreciate all the support. that we've received. All the guys and gals who subscribe to us on Patreon. Can't do it without you. Thank you so much. And again, for those of you who haven't joined us, check us out over there. Click the description box below. Become a true fan of Enough Said Sports. Again, really appreciate you. And I will talk to you again really, really soon. Take care, guys.